Welcome to Kokomo Speedway, site of tonight's footwear screen printing dirt street stock tour. Field is gridding up, and random draw qualifying has Blake Giglio and Lucas Hoytsma on the front row. That is pretty potent. The rest of the field's going to have the work cut out for them with those two starting on the front row, but they will get EOLs, at least Giglio. I don't remember who all the EOLs were. Let me take a quick look. Blake getting it down and out of the way for his EOL. Let me take a quick gander at the announcements. It is Giglio, Nagel, and Trago. They were the top three in our last week's race. So they will be headed to the back with EOLs. Start this week. I believe that moves Brad Wilson to the front. Did you see Blake catching back up? So Giglio to the tail of the field. Check out your scoreboard. Those underlined in the same colors are battling one another to move on to the next round. So the pink battle between Nagel and Elston. You have the blue battle between Hoytsma and Wilson. The double zero is orange, so keep that in mind. It won't let me underline zeros. So Blake Giglio and Lafayette will battle one another. And then you have Montrose and Cody Ernest, and Ernest is not here, so that bodes well for Ian Montrose. Azaria, thank you so much for the resub. A whole year now. Good gracious. Time flies. I did not think you'd been here that long. Great to have you around all the time. Green flag out in the air from Kokomo Speedway. Brad Wilson digging on the inside. Lucas trying to find some grip on that high lane, and looks like advantage Wilson on that first set of corners. Here comes Montrose into second. He's going to cross up over across the 97's front bumper, and Hoytsma going to dig back into second. Hoytsma going for it on that inside lane. My goodness, he really sent it in there. That car was hopping every which way. But Wilson and Hoytsma digging on the inside. Hoytsma nearly into the tire there. My goodness. Hoytsma really going for it here. We got Giglio running to the inside. Check out this view behind the stands. That's super helpful. Well done there. Kokomo's camera back is a little weird. As we watch Wilson now up on the high lane. Hoytsma's digging the inside lane, and I think he's going to get the lead down there.
Sorry,
Giglio following him there. Remember, Blake got the EOL to the back of the field. Lucas hits the tire, goes around. And that's probably going to be our caution. There it is.
I knew I was going to do it. Dang it.
He hit the tire. You hear the disappointment from the 97's radio. He was having a really good battle. Now he drops to the tail of the field, and Blake Giglio is already at the front.
I couldn't call it out fast enough to warn you.
Looks like Brad Wilson is going to be scored the leader in the 51. Wilson battling Hoytsma, who wrecked there. So those two are the blue battle, even though Brad's got orange decals on. How'd you hear a Mario Kart?
What's up?
Montrose, just by being here this week in that one car, he's looking golden, as his competitor, the 88 of Cody Ernest, did not make the grid. I tried DMing him, getting him to the track and everything, but no Cody Ernest this week, so Montrose going to get a points advantage over the 88. That'll probably be really difficult to overcome next week. Set for a restart here. Wilson, Giglio, your front row. Wilson's the control car, the mint green. He'll jump up ahead of Blake Giglio, try to cut off the momentum of the 16. Blake's now going to run way at the top. Montrose going to try to take second here. Now Wilson goes to the top. Blake's going to try to go to the middle. Ian's still digging the inside lane. We got a battle for the lead shaping up as Giglio now throws it to the bottom. He'll slide up ahead of the 51 of Wilson, and he will have the lead. Wilson going to try to fight back on that high lane, but I think Giglio's got it here. Wilson's going to have to start fighting the one for second. Right now for the battle for the pink machines, you got Damon Nagel 5th, and Scott Elston just fell to 8th as Trevor Trago got by. Trevor not in the playoffs, so we don't get to talk about him much, but there he is in the 91. Double zero Lafayette. He's battling the leader, Blake Giglio, so he's got his work cut out for him. Blake, the former pro driver on dirt, going to be tough for Lafayette to move on to the next round, but he's going to give it a go. Wilson, Montrose. Montrose got that back end way around, and that's going to drop him back into the pack. Here comes Lucas. He ramps it off a tire, bounces it into the door of the one. Lucas just launched that car right into the door of Ian. Fortunately for Ian, his competitor's not here this week, so not such a blow when cars get by him. All he's got to do is score points here, and that's just by showing up. He'll get a participation trophy for this round. Damon Nagel, meanwhile, moves up to third, putting a lot of distance on his competitor, Scott Elston, down in eighth. Trevor Trago moves up into fourth. I think Damon just tagged the tire on the inside line. Montrose has fallen to sixth. Up front, it's a 2-second lead for Blake Giglio. We stay back here in this pack where we got some action going on. Damon Nagel, Trevor Trago, Lucas Hoitzman, and the one of Ian Montrose. 91 and 97 battle door to door. If you missed the announcement last week, this is our last season of Dirt Street Stocks. We're going to get something a little different next season. They haven't announced what yet. What year Lancer you got there, Zarya? Made me curious now, middle of the race. Oh, Trevor nearly got the tires. Lucas almost did the same. Right through the middle goes Damon Nagel. That was close quarters racing, and David just squeezed through there. Here comes Ian back on the inside of Lucas. Ian's going to get way out of shape and hit the... Wow, it's a little too early to go. That's the winner's circle here at Kokomo. Ian Montrose has gotten it stuck in the wall.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Did you get the tire?
Nope.
No, I'm stuck on the podium.
There he goes.
It's a good problem to have, I think.
Trevor Trago, meanwhile, battling for third. Here comes David Nagel back to the inside. You see these cars really hopping. I like that body style of Lancer. There we go. Trevor Trago battling Brad Wilson all the way up to second as Wilson's really fallen off Giglio. 12 laps to go in feature number 1. We will invert the field and run feature number 2. It looks like Ian Montrose will be your pole sitter for feature 2. He is always notoriously hard to pass, so could be a really fun feature 2 with that one car starting on pole. Trevor Trago currently in a podium position, trying to track down that Shenandoah Shine car of Brad Wilson. Yeah, Hoitzman and Nagel still door to door. And the one of Montrose, he's in the picture, but 2 laps down now after getting stuck on the winner's circle. That's pretty funny. I'll try to get some practice in on the track. Slight contact between the 86 and the 1. Just a friendly hello. See Lafayette in the background. Not too far off this battle in 6th. Trevor Trago still working that inside. Seems to have gotten ahead of Wilson. Wilson's going to power it back up, get back to his inside. It's the battle for second. Some 7 seconds behind Blake Giglio. Wilson trying to get this extra position over Hoitzma. Doesn't want to give up the points. Trevor Trago just here for the glory. Not in the playoffs. Yeah, if you had an Evo, you wouldn't have any problem selling that. Even if it's dead. But yeah, that body style is so cool. Still got Lucas battling Damon Nagel, Lafayette there in the picture in this battle for second. Trevor Trago, Brad Wilson with 4 to go. A couple of battles to keep an eye on. Lucas falling back here. Trago holding on to second for now over Wilson. 3 to go. Seems the bottom line, the preferred lane right now. Check in on Blake, see where he's running. He's probably trying to experiment with that lead he's got. And indeed he is, running right up on the wall. Seems everything's just about settled. So we'll check back in on Blake Giglio. See, works the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. White flag in the air, and he'll bring that number 16 machine off turn 4 and pick up the win as he slams into Damon Nagel. Seems Nagel had an issue on the last lap. Trevor Trago picks up second. Brad Wilson third. Lucas Hoysma fourth. Nathan Lafayette will get credit for fifth. Looks like Scott Elston will bring it home sixth after Nagel's incident.
The other random crap that's happened to me this season.
Nagel's car got junked there on that last lap, and he fell to the 7th spot, so Scott Elston takes the advantage
I
there.
got stuck. It looked like Austin Powers got stuck. I didn't get out.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw it after I asked you.
All right, let's run through our top 3. Check them down in Discord.
No waiting for your interviews.
Mute that, and let's go get Blake. Is he in the waiting room? Trevor is. Let's go get Blake. Blake, DG, you got a copy?
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Look like you're on cruise control here at Kokomo. How much do you like this track?
It's okay. It's definitely fun to it's fun to run both lines here. Racing's tough. It's gonna be an interesting second feature for sure.
Looked like Lowline really became dominant there at the end, but you had such a lead. You're experimenting up at the top. Did you find anything?
It's a surprise. I guess you have to find out in feature, right?
And forward. Good luck coming from back. You got your friends, family, sponsor shoutouts for us?
You for broadcasting, CC Racing, Lotus Esports, M9 Performance. Everyone's on this car. Let's get this thing done in the second feature.
Golly, so fast.
I'm trying to get faster.
Oh no. I think you're plenty fast. You're already killing the field, my friend.
I didn't even know. How much was it in that one?
I don't know, it was like 5, 6, 7 by the end of it.
Man, wow, that is a lot.
Yep. Alright, bud, good luck.
Thanks.
Not that you need it. Let's go check out our second place. I think that was Trevor Trago. Trevor DG, you got a copy?
I do.
Well, looked like it was a lot of fun out there. You're able to get all the way up to second. Didn't quite have enough for that Blake Giglio fellow, but now you get to start ahead of him. You go try to keep him behind you the whole time?
We should just ban him. Make it a lot more.
Just ban Giglio?
Just ban him, yeah.
Okay. So he's too good and get out of here?
Yeah. Exactly.
Or should we like just make up something like NASCAR does?
Yeah, we could do that.
He wall rode at some point, right?
He was too light on the scales. Too light on the scales.
There you go. He also he rode the wall at one point too. Oh man, well, good second place run for you. You enjoying the Kokomo track so far?
I am. I was, for some reason I thought it started at 7:30, so when I saw the grid, I panicking. But no, it's a lot of fun. I'm hoping the track kind of widens out. The bottom is starting to go away there, so hopefully the second race, we can use the middle or the top.
10-4. Well, good luck, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you after feature number 2.
All right, thank you.
You got the friends, family, and sponsor shoutouts for us tonight?
I want to shout out One of Goons, McConey Setup Shop, FPS Heaven, High Rise Fuel, Kenny for the paint, and then you guys for putting on the league and the broadcast.
All right, bud. Congrats on that strong run, and we will see you in feature 2. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Trevor Trago, and now let's see if we find our third place finisher. While I tell Danny, yes, dirt is hard. It's very difficult. It's fun though. If I'm not mistaken, Brad Wilson finished third, and I don't see him. Now I see him. Brad!
Oh?
Making me come over here for your interview? Yeah. Well, congrats on your third place finish in that first feature. Now we're going to invert the field and run an extra 10 laps. How do you feel about getting back up to the podium?
Honestly, at Kokomo, let's say I feel shit out of luck here. I don't think we're going to do anything. But I got my grand old crew chief, Ryan A.
I'll get him up there.
I got him here, so I'm sure we'll find our way back up there.
All right, Sid 4. You got the Friends Family sponsor shoutouts for your podium in feature number 1?
Just shine.co, Mooncar, fuck you, Brandon Pearl, you're in here.
Perfect. Until you run a race, Pearl. That's going to be the motto. And let's get Ryan some PR training so we can actually stay in the league. All right, y'all. Have fun.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Whew. I had to go to a whole different Discord to get that interview. They're over in the Shine Discord. At least I know how to find them. Get some words in there. 30 seconds left. We'll go into feature number 2. We're going to invert the field, so the last place car, Ian Montrose, will start on pole. And the winner, Blake Giglio, will start last. I'm going to take my meds here real quick, so we're ready for this. Woo, there we go. How are we doing, my friend Danny? Hopefully you're having a great, wonderful, delightful day. Good to see you in chat. Warm-up just about done. I think your fastest drivers in warm-up, Blake Giglio, Lucas Hoysa, Nathan Lafayette, and Scott Elston. No one else bothered getting out there. And there is the checker flag on warm-up. Heard the drivers say in the interviews the bottom was starting to go away, so the top may be viable here in feature number 2. Maybe viable. Let everyone get out on track. They got about 60 seconds to get their cars out there. Hopefully no one lollygags. Would love to run through our starting lineup. On pole, it's going to be this Ian Montrose #1 machine. Damon Nagel, the Trevor Project car, will start in 2nd. Scott Elston in the Pro Line car starts 3rd. Nathan Lafayette in the Penguin car starts 4th. Lucas Hoysa, the 712 Brakes machine, starts in the 5th spot. Brad Wilson in the Shine car starts in 6th. Trevor Trago, the Wadagoons car, starts in 7th. And Blake Giglio, feature #1 winner. He's got multiple double feature wins this season. He's going to try again tonight here at Kokomo. He'll start in 8th. We are rolling here in feature number 2. Pace laps underway. Matt Benke rooting for the 00. Double zero up against it a little bit here as Blake Giglio won the first race. So as the playoffs go, that is bad news for Lafayette. Lafayette matched up against Blake Giglio in this second round. So we do a bracket style elimination here in the dirt cars, which is a lot of fun. Lafayette's going to have to hope Giglio runs into trouble here in feature number 2. Pace truck heads off, field rolls into turn 3. Side by side they go. Control car is that one of Ian Montrose. Has to wait for the green flag. There it is. Barney waves the green flag in the flag stand, and we are underway. Immediately to the top goes Brad Wilson. Right around the bottom go Hoytsma and the 91 of Trago. And Hoytsma launches this thing all the way to the front. My goodness. I'm impressed. Here comes Ian Montrose around the bottom trying to follow the Hoytsma line. Trevor Trago still digging down bottom. Brad Wilson still wrapping it at the top. He's starting to find speed up there. Here comes Blake Giglio right behind him. Blake liked what he found on the high line there the last few laps. Trago gets into Montrose, then backs out of it to let Montrose save it. It's going to drop Trevor to the end of the field. Looks like Lucas now has moved up to the top. Top line starting to get some action. Down low, that's the 86 and 16. Blake Giglio and the 86 of Damon Nagel. Lucas now running a middle line. Brad Wilson all the way to the wall. Giglio got into the back bumper a little bit there. Damon Nagel still digging down low, and now we got multiple grooves all putting down good lap time. Everybody exploring, try to find the best line, the best grip. Off the corner, Wilson gets a really good run, but Hoytsma's car is there. Damon Nagel continues digging on that bottom lane. Remember, the 97 and 51 are battling one another this round. The two blue cars underlined on your scoreboard. So that is a battle for the playoffs that we're watching. There's Trevor Trago. He's rebounded from the tail of the field back up to the 5th spot. He is digging right around the tires. Brad Wilson gets to the outside of Lucas Hoytsma. Lucas going to have to run the bottom. Here comes Blake. Where's he going to go? Wilson keeps that outside line open, and he throws it in there. Bounces it off the wall, Christopher Bell style. Brad Wilson to the lead. Gets ahead of the 97 of Hoytsma. Lucas probably hoping to get to the top to hold off Blake. Trevor Trago right around those tires. That gets dangerous after a while. You make one tiny mistake and you're launched. Really good battle here early in this race. You hear the cars bouncing off the wall a little bit further back. Blake looks like he's going to take second, running that top lane. Brad Wilson out front, Giglio to second. Hoytsma and Trago battle the inside for third. You see behind them Damon Nagel in the 86, ahead of Scott Elston. Was doing well in feature 1 in that matchup, but then wrecked late. Elston was able to get ahead. There we get our first caution. Nathan Lafayette's in the grass. Let's see what happened. Looks like he's just too much throttle in the back end, comes around, and the one of Montrose triggers the caution as the 00 is around. And we get our first caution of the night. Been a lot of door banging, but no wrecks so far. So there we go. 12 laps, really 11 laps complete. We'll call it 12 because we'll get the green flag and it'll go to 28. Lafayette drops to the tail of the field. It's even worse news for his playoffs. Blake Giglio is already up to second. It was going to be a tall task for Lafayette to take down a former pro dirt driver, but not doing himself any favors there. So Giglio riding second behind Brad Wilson in the Shine Machine. It's like he's running to the top trying to get it to wear out. See him still running that wall. So we go double file into turn 3. Not within 10 laps, so we'll still do double file restarts. Wilson throttles it up. Blake tries to hang on his outside, but Wilson not allowing that. Blake's going to go immediately to the inside line. And we'll see how they do coming off the corner. I think Brad will have the advantage. It's a battle for the lead. After a double file restart, Blake right around the tires. Wilson's going to get a huge run off that top side, and then we go back to this battle. Trevor Trago, Lucas Hoytsma, and the one of Montrose. Ian got that car pretty far rotated, was able to get it back. And there's Hoytsma and Trevor Trago. Giglio wrapping the bottom now. The more these guys wrap the bottom, the more that top's going to become prevalent. See Blake trying to inch in on that 51 car, but he knows if he follows the tire tracks of the leader, he's just going to keep following the leader. Wilson into the wall again. Giglio does a little better job not riding the wall. Trevor in third, still digging this bottom lane, despite how worn out it is. For the moment, he's holding off the one of Ian Montrose. Montrose and Hoytsma have gone to the top. 51 and 16 are both bouncing off the fence now for the lead. Giglio's inching in on the 51. He's starting to get to the, well, here it is, the zone where he could throw sliders at him. Wilson's going to have to cut it down. Gets to the inside and goes back to the top in front of Blake. But here we are in territory where he's close enough to throw sliders. Now we have an earnest battle for the lead. Comes another slide. Not clear. He puts Wilson into the wall, and Blake Giglio just absolutely crushed the 51. That was a very dirty slider as he pounded the 51 into the wall. Sure, if Wilson can get back to him, that would be a spicy transaction between the two, but Blake's going to try to run away and hope no caution comes out. Personally, as a fan of the excitement, I want to see the caution come out. Trevor Trago trying to inch in on Brad Wilson. Ian Montrose in the 4th spot. Lucas Hoytsma in 5th. Damon Nagel 6th. Scott Elston 7th. And Nathan Lafayette is 8th. I think Trevor Trago may have caught the tire on the inside. Let's go back and take a quick look. Oh, he just over-rotated on an exit. That's what happened to him. Didn't catch the tire, but the back end came around a little too much. Cost him a couple spots. He'll fall to the 5th spot. Almost a full second between Giglio and Wilson. Montrose banging it off the fence. Hoytsma, Trago, Nagel all right there together. Trago trying to get past Damon Nagel. Staying committed to this inside line despite that incident he just had coming off the corner. Past halfway here in feature number 2. Blake leads by a full second over Brad Wilson. We hang on to this battle between Montrose and Hoytsma. Hoytsma would like to get one spot closer to Brad Wilson for his battle in the playoffs. Damon Nagel, Scott Elston right there together. Scott's about 2 seconds back, though. They are running 6th and 7th. Montrose bouncing it off the fence, and he's going to squirt right between Trevor Trago and the 97 of Hoytsma. Ian digging in that one car, slides it up right on the nose of Hoytsma. That was a little dirty. Hoytsma gives him a shot into the corner, and I don't blame him. Damon Nagel had to do a really heads-up job not to run to the back of the 97. Ian just parked that thing right on Hoytsma's nose, and Lucas doesn't seem too pleased with it, nor should he be. Trevor Trago trying to get back to 3rd, is digging that inside lane, working the one of Montrose. Seems Kokomo putting on quite the show. That's probably a little too much rotation out of the 91, but he makes it work. I'm impressed. Got that car pointed early, gassed it up, and stayed off the tires. Montrose throwing it down to the bottom. Lucas kind of pinned back in 5th. He's trying to race Brad Wilson. 3 spots separate him right now. Not good for Hoytsma. Ian over-rotates the one car again, as we saw him do in the first feature. That's going to give Lucas a spot, get him closer to Wilson. Now he needs to try and get Trevor Trago in the 91. Doesn't seem to be working at the moment. Damon Nagel's got a car between himself and Elston now. That'll help him take the lead into next week. They are able to stay there with 9 to go. There's Nagel running in the 5th spot. Ian Montrose has fallen to 6th. Scott Elston 7th. Lafayette is 8th. Leader now by 1.8 seconds over Brad Wilson. These interviews could get spicy if he hasn't cooled off yet. Trevor Trago in 3rd, trying to hold off Lucas Hoytsma. Then you got Damon Nagel. Lucas has been kind of running a little lower than the actual top line, at least on the 1 and 2 end of the track. I got it backwards. Now he's running really high on both ends. See him come down a little bit, though? Doesn't run the wall on exit. Out of turn 4. It's a unique line. Starting to gain on Trevor, but then by the time he gets there, we got to turn again. Blake just bouncing it off the wall. 4 laps to go. 4.5. Now 4 laps to go. Got ahead of myself. Wilson 2 seconds back. Trevor another 3 back. Trevor trying to hold off Lucas. This is really the closest battle on track. Someone just bounced off the tires. I think that was David. Trevor holding off the golden boy Lucas Hoytsma right now. Blake getting around the Nathan Lafayette machine, putting him a lap down. That's got to hurt, knowing that's your championship rival lapping you. Poor Nathan. And a white flag in the air one more time around for that number 16 M9 Performance Chevrolet Camaro. Into turn 3 and 4. No pressure on the 16 as he is between some lap cars. Brings it off turn 4, picks up the double feature win. Brad Wilson will score 2nd. Trevor Trago in 3rd, and we get a repeat of feature number 1. Lucas bounces it hard off the wall. I don't think he enjoyed Kokomo very much. Damon Nagel in 5th. Ian Montrose brings it home 6th. Scott Elston 7th. That should be advantage Wilson in his matchup. Should be advantage Nagel by a very slim margin in his matchup, and big advantage Blake Giglio in his matchup, and Montrose, his competitor, didn't show up, so huge advantage for him. Avid wanted us to throw a caution there just for the fun. I mean, I would be a fan of that, but I don't think that racing purists would enjoy that too much. See if we can find a camera where this actually looks cool, seeing Blake sitting there. There we go. Blake, your winner. Double feature winner tonight. Let's go grab him and have a chat. I'm sure he is down in his low drag team, and he is. Blake, DG, you got a copy?
How's it going?
It's going great. You found Victory Lane twice here tonight. You double feature winner, and you parked it in the Kokomo Speedway Victory Lane. We appreciate that for the imagery. It looks awesome. Congrats on the double feature win. How was it out there, and what did you have to do? Was it just... let's talk about that pass on Wilson. Looked like a little bit of a dirty slider, maybe? Got up into him on the slider?
Yeah, it was one of those where I'm glad we're in a street stock kind of thing. It, one thing I kind of learned when I started racing dirt was you got to expect the slider, and then the way it worked with incident points and stuff was back when in different leagues and stuff with dirt. It's if you get clear and you get into them, if you clear the slider, they hit your rear end. That's not technically on the guy throwing the slider. But I get it. It was a tight slider. I told him that. I apologized to him. It was a tight slider. But I mean that's how you got to pass at Kokomo. The corners they're big, but they're not. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's one of those things where if you don't do a tight slider, they're just gonna drive right back underneath you. So apologize that got into him for a little bit. I thought he was gonna catch me again. He was really hauling the mail. Luckily we were able to not make as many mistakes and get it done.
Well, just so you know, the damage is on the side of your car, not the back.
Yeah, well, I hit the wall a lot too, so yeah, it's probably a combination of both.
Well, congrats on the strong run. Double feature winner tonight, either way you look at it. Congrats on the strong run. You got the Friends Family sponsor shout-outs for your win?
Yeah, again, shout out to you for broadcasting, CC Racing, Ladrigi Sports, M9 Performance. Everyone's on this car. Obviously, you know, everyone's putting this league on. It's just, dirt's probably my favorite thing to run, so I'm glad that we do have a dirt league here, and glad we were able to get it done. And also shout out to Scott Olson for putting on the series. And
There
Damon
you
Nagel.
go. There you go. Got them both. All right, bud. Congrats on the strong run, and we'll see you a little bit later in Xfinity.
Thanks.
By the way, that's a Talladega, and Blake not a fan. Blake gets the double feature win. Let's go track down that 51 and Brad Wilson, see if he's going to make me go all the way over there again. I think he is.
Point you're making, but
Hi. I got to do
Hello.
the interview again now that you're all the way over here again. Pain in my ass. Well, looked like you got a bit of
what
a
up, DG?
looked like you got a bit of a dirty slider there. What was that all about?
Nah, I don't really know. The first time I crossed him up, and then my good old crew chief said, "Keep your
I
foot in
say
her."
keep his foot in.
So I kept my foot in her, and it ended up with me in the wall. But I just doing what my crew chief said, and we brought him a P2.
Well, congrats on the strong run in both features. Got 2 interviews tonight. You got the Friends Family sponsor shout-outs, and don't forget to say fuck Brandon Pearl again.
ShandoShine.co, Mooncar, fuck Brandon Pearl, and the only other person I can think besides you for broadcasting is my
Art Reynolds.
chief on the box, Ryan A. File.
Yeah.
God. All right. Well, congrats on the strong run. We'll see you in Xfinity in a little bit.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, bye. Let's go get our third place finisher, Trevor Trago in the 91. Trevor DG, got a copy?
I do.
Well, double interviews tonight. That has to feel pretty good. I think it's your first time in dirt getting that, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Well, hell yeah. Good job tonight. Strong runs in both features, a second and a third. Pretty good night. You got the, I don't know, overall thoughts on the race. How was it out there?
It was pretty good. I felt like the bottom was still fastest. Towards the end there, if I was hitting my marks, I was faster than both Blake and Bradley, but I kept not hitting my marks. And then I hit a giant pothole when I got to, I think, second or third. That sent me back, so I had to come back from that.
It looked like you got over-rotated one of those times coming out of the corner and lost a bunch of ground, but still looked like you're having a good time out there, learning a little bit and having some fun.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a blast.
You got the Friends Family sponsor shout-outs for that P3 here in feature number 2.
Yeah, I want to shout out One of Goons again, Maconi Setup Shop, High Rise Fuel, FPS Heaven, and then you guys for putting on the league and the.
You got cut off on the end there, but yeah, good job there. I appreciate you, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week. I think Trevor's connection died. I didn't get anything from him there at the end, but is what it is. Let's look into our final results here for feature number 2. Just a one-pager tonight. Pretty easy. Blake Giglio getting the win in feature 2. Brad Wilson, Trevor Trago, your podiums. Lucas Whiteside, Damon Nagel in the top 5. Ian Montrose, Scott Elston bring it home 6th and 7th. And Nathan Lafayette going a lap down there at the end, finishing 8th. Tough night for Lafayette. Let's go ahead and close it out there. Thanks once again to our sponsor, Fort Worth Screen Printing, for helping us put on the broadcast. Thanks to all of you for watching tonight. Scott and Damon for putting on this league. We appreciate all of you. And we'll see you here in Xfinity here in a little bit. Thank you so much. Have a good night. That will close out our YouTube. Back to a Twitch stream. Get the